Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We are slowly getting this area done now, considering the track building is kind of out of place still for us. But one of the things that we have a bit of an issue with is we need to build these. So let's quickly assign someone to start building these pathways now. So we'll start building that one. I wonder if we go underground, whether we can actually make a start on this one. We can. So let's get it started on that one. If we go underground again, I think we still have this in place here. And let's just quickly double check. And we've got that one in place. And I'm kind of tempted to build them and see what we get. Because it's so close, right? It is so close. At least this one is so close. I do wonder if we could potentially make that work. Never really considered it being such a big deal. Yeah, so that one, maybe. This one over here, actually, they are both within very similar reasons. Okay, so let's try. Let's build them. Let us build them. Actually, we need this one to be built by these guys. So let's build them, see what we can get. We need them to be built all together. And that and that. And what I will do is I will pop up here and say, actually guys, build that for me. The road build crew and the other crew can start doing this one. And similarly speaking, we do the same thing over here. So we'll get that in place and we'll get the various crews to build this. Okay, so let's see about that. If that doesn't work, I've given it a little bit of thought. If that doesn't work, what we can do is we can put a sneaky little... we need a narrower railway station than this, I think. We'll put a sneaky little railway station in here. Yeah. So if that doesn't work, we'll sneak something into this. But maybe we've got something a little bit better than that. So let's say platform rail platform. Okay, let's just go with platform instead. Yeah. So we do have this single loaded platforms. Oh, we've got tons of these guys. What about, let's have a look at that, and let's have a look at this and see what that actually gives us. These guys, I think a little bit too much. So let's just see. So if we go here, rail platform for citizens. So if we go with that one, come on, what does this look like? Yeah, so potentially what we could do is we could sneak a little something in here, and that could... Okay, so maybe that's something we could do. And then at the same time, what that could also offer us, yeah, if we build it, that could also offer us a bit of a bus station platform of sorts, right? So then a bus platform, something like this, right? I'm kind of tempted to do that right there. And is there maybe instead of that one we'll do, yeah, something like this one instead, yeah, and have it loop around in a logical way. So something like this. We then allow for construction workers to be picked up in this area. So anybody left on the train gets off in this location, right? So that's kind of the idea. So let's see if that does do anything for us. So what I would do is we would ultimately... Well, that actually won't be constructible as is. But anyway, let's see. And we don't want to necessarily mess that up. So let's do this one instead. That's going to be more than sufficient space here. And we'll do that one over there. And that's going to be sufficient space there. And both of them won't be able to construct until we get to a point where we can. But ultimately, this is our plan B. So I'll put those in place. This is our plan B, and potentially we'll still build it anyway. for construction workers. So anybody who didn't get off here, who didn't get off there, goes there. And then what we could do is we could run a little bus, just one little bus from here to there to kind of sort that out. What we will also need in some of these locations, though, is maybe something like a vehicle repair station, which can also benefit from some workers that's popping up over here. Now, I don't want to get too crazy with who's working here, though. But yeah, maybe a vehicle repair station is something that some kind of vehicle maintenance facility. Just a small one. I think multiple small ones tends to be a slightly better benefit to us. And we could do something like this, right? It doesn't actually want to. So if we were to do, yeah, it doesn't actually seem to be the case with this. But anyway, if we were to do that, if we were to do something like this, right, we could still have. So something like that. So we put a vehicle repair station in there. We should be able to get workers to it there. And we could still put something across the way, like so, that allows us to get some work done in this area. So I think that is okay because we might have multiple kind of things that we need to repair in this area. If we did something like that, yeah, well, we'll start. I think we'll have to make a start on this because I think either way we will still need it, right? So let's just get the various crews to come and start building some of these pathways and the likes. So all of this is now underway, under construction. This is under construction over here. We're getting these bridges in place, or these roads in place. This is ready to go. What we will need to do is give it some power and give it some water and sewage and the like. So if we go underground, we can see that we don't actually have any water and sewage facilities here. So what we will need to do is provide it with a water substation. Yeah, I guess this area here is appropriate. If we do it slightly further this way, we may be able to pick up on other things. Let's do it here instead. We'll get a water substation and a sewage substation, or a sewage tank, nonetheless. We'll get those two in place over here. That seems to be workable. We'll go underground and we'll see that, yeah, both of these are in fact in place. So let's see. Now, if we were to, I think this might work. Now, that might not quite work because our alignment here isn't perfect, right? Because we're going right underneath that guy. So that was kind of... So we might have to move it a little bit. I don't think we're going to end up being able to make that work in that location. This seems to want to work. So alternatively, we start running in this area, in this direction again. So if we go with the switch then, so if we just go with the standard switch in this location, yeah, maybe something like right over there. Where else do we have the switch running? The switch is running over there, so that should be fine. Presumably, if we were to kind of run it in this broad direction, something like that, and the water switch, which we would like to do a little bit out of the way there. Okay, so something like that maybe. Okay, so now let's say if we wanted to run this one into there, that doesn't actually want to work. So what we need to do then is let's I don't think this is a problem. I think this is quite feasible. It's just because it's not connected one. Come on. There we go. So that is quite feasible as an operation. And then what we can do is we'll just basically tie that in. But maybe what we do is we do yet another switch here. Right, just so that we kind of make sure that we've got, you know, proper planning in place here for in case we wanted to add some more stuff here. So that should work as in terms of the sewage connection. So let's get that moving, and then the water connection similarly, we would want to, at the very least, no, don't do that. We would want to get the water connection to do this. Right, so that is quite reasonable. We could actually tie in the water connection over this way. So what we might do is, in terms of a water switch, we might do a little something similar over here. Try and deviate a bit from our approach. So let's do that. Just give ourselves a little bit of flexibility there. So bring in that connection here, and then into that connection there. So let's make a start on those. So those should then be constructible quite easily. This is built though, so none of that needs building. This needs building, and these need to be connected up. So let's quickly give them a couple of paths through here. We want that path in place. We would want this path in place, and we would most certainly want. Oh, that doesn't actually want to work, so we'll have to do multiple little pathways over here. So let's do a path there and a path there. Now let's assign some construction to this, to that, to this. Anything you kind of see over here, anything you kind of see over there. Get your construction on. Okay. That is slowly getting built. Are you done? I'm going to teleport you home so it doesn't have to be problematic. And we're going to keep an eye on what is happening over here. Also, what is happening with our rail? Is this still under construction? Yes. Is that still under construction? Yes, it is indeed. So plenty of construction items underway. This one is about to finish off over here as well. And then we could still do the others, but we don't necessarily need this one to go any further, right? So let's, well, we can stop that basically. Okay, so this guy is in fact running in the direction we wanted to run. So that's good. Various other items of construction is underway. Oh, this guy needs to be tied in as well. I'm assuming it won't be a problem to do that. So let's get that going. We'll assign that over there, and I think we can then make a start on some of these construction items so that we slowly get this ready to go and get our new track builders in place. We'll purchase those track builders. Now, what we still need to get done over on this side is some power. So power is an interesting one because we've got power over here, and we might want to actually just run it from over there and provide some power in this area that will be sufficient to deal with this, right? So maybe that's a good starting point. The train is waiting too long. It's always the same guys. So what are you waiting for? Let's tell you to go. I don't quite know why you're stuck where you're stuck over there. So you can go. Let's just see. Your track is probably then not... Well, it should be clear. It's just these guys all interconnected that's causing us a little bit of an issue. Yeah, so those were just fine. So why are we struggling? I mean, we've got signals here, right? Yeah, there's signals there. Might not always be signals. Let's add some signals over there, maybe. That might make it a little bit easier because of the kind of construction items we're working on here. Who's that guy? Oh, driving out over there. Yeah, this is almost done. This is fine. There's plenty of work still to be done before we're really in a position. We can start switching these things on. As we kind of get all of these things built, we can start switching them on. It's not too big of a deal. We can buy some stuff. Oh, we also need our pipes to go out over that way. Now, this is a pump, right? It needs power, but it also is a pump. We need construction facilities here. I'm kind of guessing we'll add various construction crews to start, including helicopter construction, to start running a little bit further. But anyway, what we need to do, all of these things are already taking wear and tear, right? Yeah, 9% wear and tear, and it's not even, we haven't even started working yet. So that's one of the things where the wear is becoming a little bit of an issue. Anyway, get the piping going. So liquid pipes, we're going to go with the underground version, and one of them is going to go in here, and one of them is going to go in there. And then from there, we may do some other varietals in terms of getting them to work. So let's just say we go underground. So something like this. Oh, it's too long. So we will need some pumping stations to go in place then. Okay, so pumping station. So let's just go upstairs to see where we could potentially squeeze something in as a bit of a pumping station. And I'm assuming we don't necessarily need both, right? So all we could do is we could say, you're going to tie in there, right? And then you are going to tie in. Whoa, that's not quite right. Let's do that instead. And similarly, what we'll do is we'll tie in over there, right? So this is going to be basically how we're going to tie these up, right? And then we'll have to say one of them is going to be bitumen and the other one is going to be fuel, and we'll go from there. So let's do that. Right, no one's delivering here yet. Have we allocated? No, we have not. So which ones? So fuel could go directly to these. They've got a fair bit of storage here. Oh, not that much, actually. So I think in order to get this super efficient, right, I think we'll do fuel on this side and bitumen on that side. So this one will be fuel storage. Thank you. And then what we need to do is we'll get another pump, of course. Still need to do power on the other side, though. Another pump. And we have a... I guess this is the... Oh, it's 3 in. Oh, yeah. This is the underground. So if we go with the... Oh, hang on. Flip it around to the other side. We've got some room here. If we were to... I guess something like this will have to be kind of something like this, right? So let's do that. Let's have a quick look. If we go underground again... This one could tie in. Yeah, that's okay. This one can tie in. That's okay. And this one can tie in. Let's just make it nice and tight, like so. Yes, that's okay. And then that one can go straight over there. And we'll get those switched on. We'll go upstairs and we will give it a little pathway over here. We'll assign it. We'll give this one a little pathway. We'll assign it. We'll get some of the crews to come and work them so that we can get them built. And at the same time, we can do a very similar thing with like a fuel station in this area. Also, we will need another pumping setup, and that will then allow us to run bitumen to the asphalt plant. So do we need bitumen over here? No bitumen there. No bitumen, really no bitumen anywhere but in this location here. So what we'll need to do, and we are running gravel in there, right? Yeah, that's fine. That's quarried stone, that's gravel. Yeah, we are running gravel in there. And so then we will need one more underground kind of pumping station, broadly speaking, and we'll flip it around, I guess. And we will actually flip it back so that we can get our network in place like so. That's going to be okay. Go underground. Yeah, that's going to be no problems. So now all we need to do is tie our bitumen in over here, and we'll, that's okay. We can do this one like so, and we'll get those tied in also. So there's lots of little construction projects that that can now continue in this area. So these are working well. So that's all being built, constructed, all these kind of things. Okay, power over here with the shipbuilding is the next big step for us. So we kind of looked at this. There is the ability for us to run something into this area, or let's have a look. If we go power more broadly, we could just run a power cable directly across here and have it tie in on that side. There's plenty of guys that's coming straight out of there. So I guess if we run one right in the middle there, we're not using this one. Oh, there is already something running. Oh, that's a high voltage one, of course. So if we run one straight across here and provide some substation of sorts in this area, I think that is going to be just fine. So I think something like this will give us everything we need here. Train is waiting too long. Let's just fix that. Oh no, is good to go. Yeah, working. Yeah, clear that out. Yeah, everything is moving. There's lots of pieces that needs to be built though. It'll take us a fair bit of time to get to this, actually. What we can do, of course, is separate some of these things from one another. Anyway, that should be okay for now. This is so tediously slow. They do so little sections at a time. I kind of wonder why they struggle so much with it. There was some sections where I thought we were doing really quickly, but maybe I'm just getting impatient. Anyway, that's fine. We will tie up this power connection over here, and we will make sure to assign it power in there, and then we need to bring in some power coming over here. Now the question is, do we just run a power cable across here? Sometimes I think it's not bad to do that. So let's do that. Let's run just this kind of setup. So let's do that. We'll run it out of there. We'll clear here. We'll run it, up. We'll run it up there. So the plan was to run it straight over here and down that way. That's okay. I don't mind running a little bit of this. That's okay. We can assign this for construction, I think. It hasn't assigned itself already. So lots of little construction to get us to a place where this would actually work. This will be ready to go. I'll give us a biological waste container in there as well. I don't think this is going to cause us anything. Okay, Build with a random color. Yes. Sell finished vehicle for rubles and stop production after queue ends. No, not necessarily sell finished vehicle in US dollars. No, that's what we're going to do. Once you're finished, we would like you to continue doing these. We'll build it with random colors and we will sell it with rubles as soon as it's done. That's going to kind of be the way we're going to deal with it for the time being at the start, right? Okay, now we've got all of these bits and pieces moving. We will keep an eye on our various construction projects here to make sure we're progressing into the right direction. All of this is, in fact, moving. That's pretty good. So let's clear this out. Let's expand on our town just a little bit. There's these things heavy here and so on. We do need fuel for kind of helicopters and the like, so that's okay. We do need to power all of this stuff as well. So if we go quickly, so we actually haven't done anything in terms of power yet. So let's quickly do power for this area. So if we have a look, I think that means we've done power already, or this is just smaller. It's just the smaller varieties of it. So that's fine. Okay, so we need power over on this side. Okay, so let's get kind of something in. Okay, let's get. Okay, so let's get kind of something in this area. Actually, if we move it a little bit that way on that side, we can pick up a fair bit of this stuff. I'm not sure if that means it'll be in trouble or not, but let's, as a starting point, assign one of them over here. So if we do that, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough or not, but anyway, let's do that. What we can do is we can try and maximize what we get from it. This one maximum is 1.85. This one is 2.35. So in reality, if we want to max it out, we need to kind of do a little bit of this. So let's assign that and go ahead and get that going. At the same time, we also want to get this going. So now we should be getting powered up in this area. Now, at the same time, we'd also want to look at power on this side. What is this? Oh, this is our helipad. That's okay. We'll get to the helipad. Now, let's just have a look at power first. So this is a pretty good spread of power if we can get it, if we can get it somewhere over here, that'll be a reasonable spread of the power network towards this side. I think let's not go too far, but let's double up on those. So I think that's a reasonable spot right there. And then similarly, we would want another bit of power, maybe in a location. In a location such as this, I think. So let's grab a little bit of power over there. So this will be a little bit more problematic. So let's run underground cables here. Okay, so that's the one. And then this is the other one. We'll do that. We'll leave the one open and then we'll start running in from this side to kind of have two here, one here and then one here. Yeah, I think that's going to be probably about okay. Then we still have the extra one here if we needed to add a little bit more power in this location. Let's assign those and go upstairs, but let's then also get, let's get some of this stuff assigned actually. Oh, that's still being built by the guys. Okay, that's okay. What we also need to start building is this. So let's get a bit of a road going in this general area that one had. We will need to go up and over. So I guess what I'll do is I will just build these with service road to kind of tie in over there. So let's assign that service road for a construction crew to get to, so that we can build that one as well and provide the necessary power in these areas. So let's basically do 2 more here. I think that should be okay. And maybe we can do one from the one side and one from the other side, so that we can still have another one that can come down here if we need to. I think that's okay. We need to be fairly expandable with these things. We want to make sure that we're touching that one to the furthest north section there, and we are doubling up on both sides. So that's the one. The other one can, go some place like this. Yeah, that should actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place it there instead, so that we definitely pick up on this guy. Actually, let's try that one more time. Let's just make sure we are, in fact, catching all of these. Yeah. We need to get it closer here. So we're, I think that's better. Get about, getting more coverage. Make sure we're covering all the engines. Need to be covering all those engines. So let's do that. Let's get that one in place over there. We can certainly tie that in. Okay, so that's that point. So let's quickly get these connected. So on the one side, I think we'll run it. We want to run it something like that. Okay, go underneath all of those. On the other side, we're going to run it straight down and in there. That's going to be okay. So let's assign those for construction. Go upstairs and get our pathings and all of our construction pieces underway. Tie you in. And then, of course, what we'll want to do, we'll want to tie in that one there and kind of that one there. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and assign some road crew construction items there, and we'll get that construction item going. We could also, get this piece moving over here. Sorry, get that one going. So we'll get all of that moving. That's fine. Still plenty to go here. Are we done? Oh, we're done. We're done with that. So this is not under construction. So let's make sure to get some more constructions underway now. Jeez, the rain. Look at our health and happiness. It's all still pretty good. We do need to expand our population. Definitely need to do that. Look at this. Even after we purchased that blueprint, we are in a hell of a good position, I think. How many pieces are being... Oh, there's plenty of stuff that we should be building that we're not building. So we did that. Let's make sure to build this one. We'll need to do very slowly on this side because we're really not in a good spot. And then the next piece of the puzzle is to start running various sections here. Let's just do that one so we kind of run the same thing out so that we've got multiple paths out. So maybe then we can start doubling up because these guys could get back using that one. They could actually. Yeah, well, they're coming in. Yeah. Once we have this all sorted out, we could use that. So that's fine. Let's just get all of this going. Getting a lot of these sections built. That's good. Okay, that's good. That's good. What's happening with all of our constructions here? Now, there's so much under construction now that we're struggling a little bit. But I guess fabric is here. Electronic components, mechanical, everything we need is in fact here. We just need to get working on it, right? That's good stuff. Now, the next piece is I wanted to have a bit of a look at what we can do in this broader area to kind of plan and see what we do here. Now, if we need some paths to kind of run straight down the middle if we wanted to kind of make sure that we're maximizing our area of effect. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run a path straight down the center of this area, and then I might twist it in like that. Okay. Or even earlier, right? Let's trim it back a bit more, right? And go back, try it again. We do that, right? That's awesome. We'll get that to run. We'll get this one to tie in on this side. Okay, so let's get started on this construction, please. We'll get moving there. We'll tie this one in over here, so we'll get a little bit of a square here, so you could go either way to go across there. I guess that's it. We're not necessarily going to run more of them. We're definitely going to run one on this side, so we may as well do a little bit of... Might as well do a little bit of this. Tie it in over there, and then... I'm kind of thinking we still need a crossing point here. We may not need a crossing point on this side, though. So maybe this one then just has to go in there to make sure that we're actually feeding people. We'll see. I think that's okay. So what we can do is we can certainly make a start on construction there and there as well. Are we distributing here? No, because we don't have any power in this location. So maybe power is the next big item for us. I think we have power connections here that can run up into that area. We do have heating, I believe. Right? Yeah. This is the extent of our heating here would be fine. Let's go underground and have a look at water and sewage. Water and sewage should be okay as well. We've got a variety of opportunities, actually. We can run up this way and tie it in there. We could add some additional pieces in this area here. I think we should be fine. But let's have a bit of a look quickly. So if we say maybe a water substation instead. Yeah, so if we did water substation... I just want to make sure we're capturing this side right here, right? So if we've got a water substation kind of right there. If we did another kind of where something like this, maybe. Huh? Well, it's easier to get it just to tie in from over here. That would be the easiest thing to do. We don't really have sufficient opportunity to get extra ones in here, though. So, yeah, presumably we'll just tie in this location. So maybe what we do is we actually get it right in this corner here and tie it to this. So let's get the water substation going on right there, and the sewage tank kind of right over here. And then what we'll do is we'll tie them in. That's fine. And we'll get the water to tie in there. Tie that one in. And that's going to be brilliant. So let's go upstairs, get that to go. That'll move. We'll get these paths built, and then we'll get those paths in place. What we can do in the meantime is we can get these facilities built. So we'll probably just do something like this. And we'll assign some construction crews over here. Get that moving. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So now we start to have a look at, well, We'll also need, so we've got this guy here. Not sure. Well, what we'll probably need to do is we'll need another kind of fairly large facility for picking up maybe over here. Yeah, so the question is, right, do we potentially do it right here? So we've got, yeah, I think so. So I'm gonna do something that's probably a little bit out of character in terms of putting it right there. And we will then assign a road. Let's see if we then run a road. Would like to run the road pretty. We can't get it too close to that because we'll still need a crossing there. So if we were to do a little straight section like this, that's okay. And then if we tie that in, could we? Yeah, I guess that's probably about it, right? We'll do that. We'll get the road crews to come in and plan that out. We'll have to run this one straight across here. We might have some kind of little building in that area. Do we have we don't have we've got a kindergarten right over here, so we don't necessarily need another. We've got the hospital there, so they should have reasonable access to the hospital. All these kind of things should be fine. And then we'll have a slither of buildings. Oh, so let's just make a start on the buildings then. Got some facilities here that they can use. Okay, so let's have a look at our residential buildings that we may be placing in this area. So we'd like to go fairly large, right? Fairly large. I'm not sure. Well, if any, this would be the spot where you're going to use these. But I guess it's a little bit out of place considering what we're doing, right? So maybe we go back and use a little bit more of those just to kind of change it up a little bit. So it's these guys, right? And what are they looking like? They are 75% only. Huh? These at least are 85%, 84% on these guys. Yeah, so maybe instead of more of those, we'll instead do more of these guys. Now, there is enough room for us to do a little bit of a maneuver on them. I'm guessing I would rather have something we can actually have access on both sides, right? Oh, these are 90. Okay, hang on. 85 and 90. If that's the case, let's do some of these. And again, we're ending up with something that's not quite okay. So what we need to be mindful of is that we don't want to block that path, right? So we might have to have if we do maybe a larger one kind of over here, and then we have the smaller varieties that we will be, finishing off with. No. I was hoping we could use the same angle and run it straight through, but it's just not going to work. We'll have to do something like this instead then. So if we were to, okay, let's start it from over here then. So if we said that, and that, and we close this one out, and we'll demolish that one too, by the way, and we'll go and say maybe something like this. Yeah, well, now we can actually do a little bit more here. Okay, and so we'll get that one to go through there. Actually, now, let's see. Can we maybe do the bigger one? Yeah, we can do the bigger one. Like so, right? Get it nice and close to that road connection there. So that looks fairly reasonable. It's going to stagger a little bit. That one, and then this one has a bit of an overlap. And then question mark, do we have something that's it's reasonable for a bit of a taller building. I don't want to do this, right? This is a little bit too much, but maybe something like that. What does that actually give us? 148, 40, or we could do even something like this as well. It's the same as what we've got on that side, though. So I was kind of hoping we've got something that's a little bit more like these guys, but doesn't seem to be the case. If we do the smaller of the two, could we squeeze it in? We can actually squeeze in the smaller of the two with some reasonable spacing there. So let's do that instead. I think that's going to be quite comfortable. Then we'll run that path through here, and then that's going to be fine. I think what we'll do is we'll provide any ancillary facilities that may be necessary on the other side, and we'll just do again. So what we might need to do here, though, is as we come through, we might have to just look at another quick bridge across here. So let's quickly do that. Make sure we've got that assigned and in place. So the idea being that maybe we've been doing the concrete ones, so let's just keep going on the concrete ones. So if we assume we're cutting across like this. Okay, so let's just extend the path over here, which is not coming in from that side actually. What side is it? This is on that side. So we made it start like this, and we then extended it out like that, tied it in. Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. And at the same time, we do something like that. We'll make a start on this. We'll get the guys to come and build that. Okay, then we can continue our connection onto the other side. Though what I will do is I will flip it around so that we've got exactly. So we've got this going on here. Perfect. So we'll do that, and then what we'll do is we'll extend this path from here straight through there. Ultimately, we'll need to tie these two in. So let's do that, and let's do this. Actually, it's on the other side. Let's give it a little bit of room here. Then what we'll do is we'll do a bit of that. Right? I like it. Let's get those tied in. So let's make sure to come and start those construction items. We'll run this path straight through here. You want to make sure that all of this is well connected so that people actually get to the place they want to go in a reasonable kind of walking distance. So if we were to then assign these for finalizing of the those items, that'd be fine. So we'll need to tie these in, probably have at least one more connection straight through here. Yeah, so maybe something like tying it in over there, running it straight through to the other side, and then tying it in over here. And again, we'll probably run a little something through that side, but at least this should give reasonable access to that place, to that shopping center over there, which still doesn't have power, by the way. So the next piece of the puzzle is to have power over there. So let's get a bit of a view on our power network. So really, we haven't done. Actually, this is a high voltage. This is the high voltage variety. So, question now is, do we actually just start to run a little bit more high voltage through here? I think the answer to that is, in fact, yes. So let's do another kind of high voltage switch, maybe more. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to want to play ball here. If we were to place it here, This is just so much better if we can run it straight down the road here. But I guess we didn't really plan for that occurrence, so we're not really in a good shape to do that. But I love just making sure that everything works, right? Yeah, this road is just a little bit not in the right spot to be able to accommodate this. It's very close though. So maybe then on that in that kind of sense, it's probably better we do it on the other side. But we still have a fair bit of stuff happening on this side too. So anyway, that's okay. What we'll do is we'll start allocating like this. Actually, I want to get it all the way down to the waterfront here. And we'll have to have a piece of road for it. And then the question becomes, do we run it across to the other side or don't we? I guess we don't really need to do that right now. We can slowly build up to it. Okay, so let's get a little bit more road network stuff going in here. So that's okay. Then I guess what I want to do is something like this as a bit of a dead end situation. So let's start it off like this. So if we do that, do we want to run it alongside? I don't think so, actually. I'd rather see about, we'll trim it back a little bit more, right? So that we can tie it into something over here. But then we've got this kind of road network. Could potentially run the same thing over there so that we have, because what we'll want to do is continuously get some of this stuff from there. So that's fine. We'll do that. We'll get that assigned. We'll start getting some more construction crews. Oh, sorry, more construction crews out here if they can. Okay, let's. What's happening quickly? Lickety split with our rail network. They're all working. Yes, they seem to be working. I think this one may be done. So let's quickly see it again. Again with the rain. Wish it was. I love the fact that it is, that we've got a lot of realism in it, but it's sometimes a little bit difficult to see what's going on. So that's happening. So now maybe that one over there. We need to kind of slowly finish them off. This one is under construction still. And then this one would have ended. So let's make sure to go ahead and work on the next piece of this, potentially the one that runs straight through, so we can get that to work for us. We could also start working on the other one over here also. And there's plenty of stuff over there we could do also. How's this going? So this should probably be assigned for construction. These items are moving along pretty quickly. That's good. That's reasonable. So let's quickly get a little bit more in terms of our path thing going on over here. All right, so let's do a little bit of this. I want that constructed, please. Okay, that's all good. All of these things are under construction, working along quite nicely. We want to make sure that's assigned for construction. Wow, lots of stuff happening. How are we doing with our power connections? Not quite. So I think we're probably struggling a little bit getting all of these things done. Let me get number 2 on there as well. We'll need to finish that off before the rest can be done. If we go underground, these sections are still quite slow in terms of what's happening. It's missing bricks, really. Let's have a quick look at what the situation is here. Got bricks everywhere. What we don't have is bricks being... Maybe it's just our construction crews. So actually, one thing that we could then do, because we will need more construction offices. So let's quickly get a construction office or two in place here. We want to go as large as possible, and we also want to have a bit of a look at some of these guys. So helicopter construction. If we were to do helicopter construction, kind of tempted to have it all the way over here so that we can really define it. So let's start off with non-helicopter construction. Let's get two more of these guys in place over here. I think that's going to be pretty reasonable, right? Well, let's make use of this piece of road network here. So let's do that. We'll make use of this one. So give me one over there and one over here. Two more in this location will be just fine. Okay, now let's get the road crew on here. We'll get the next one over here. So we'll get some of our construction moving. Actually, we want one and one assigned. One is the roads to be assigned, so we can start getting a little bit more aggressive with our construction. We might even add two more on this side and then add helicopter construction over here. And this will be our main construction center. And they should be able to get their construction crews, the construction workers in this particular area here. So that should be pretty good. We would want these guys to come and help out to just get those finished off. So yeah, that should be pretty good. I think I'm almost going to leave it there. I think this is it. What we will need to do, however, we will need to quickly finalize our underground high voltage. Okay, so our underground high voltage, we need to run from there to there. Oh, really? Oh, no. It doesn't want to? Oh, man. That is a bit of a bummer. Oh, I wonder if it's the little pathway. I wonder if it's the pathway. I think... Oh, there we go. Let's have a look. That should maybe work. So forget about that for the time being. Let's go back to the high voltage. Try and tie it in. Is that tied in? Let's just redo that. Give us a quick. Okay, try that one more time. High voltage. Yeah, I guess that's the issue, right? It's the path. Okay. Well, what we're going to do, I'm going to demolish that path. We'll tie it in over here. Right, so grab me... that path isn't even being used at all. Anyway, but let's get it tied in. No, let's just forget about it. Let's demolish this entire one, okay? And we'll assign the demolition crew to come and do it quickly. We only have the one kind of demolition office. So, oh, it's automatically assigned? Show me the one. Okay, so it is assigned. So it should be, yeah, so they will come and demolish it. Once that's done, we should be able to get the rest to move. That's okay. This is all kind of slowly finishing off. That's good. Let's make sure we're put all of these guys in place. So they're finishing off there. They're finishing off over there. So we're slowly getting all of this done. And hopefully we will also get our various pipes and things in place. So that's the heating pipe that's running into this area to provide heating in this particular area. We won't need that straight away. And to be honest, if we expand beyond this, we might have further issues as well. Still want to do the stadium, but I guess we're slow and steady getting it underway. We're going to run into winter yet again. Let's quickly see what's happening with this. This is finishing off. I guess that's the situation there. So let's just make sure we're assigning the next section to be built here. Yeah, they can go all the way through there, get that constructed. So get the next section assigned on that side. And this section is still... Oh, no, that's not being built. So let's make sure to get that assigned also. And then we'll end the episode, guys. So, again, lots being done. It is a slow process. It is definitely a slow process. It does not happen overnight. So this section is still awaiting a little bit of construction crews. Feel like that is not happening. It should be happening, but it's not happening. And then we would like to continue our construction over there and finish that off. And then plenty of other bits and pieces that we would like to have a look at. This guy is heading on back. Just finished off some stuff there. We could presumably get going on this side as well, but I guess I'd rather get all of this stuff slowly set up so that we can get to a point where that kind of starts making a bit of sense. So let's make sure to get all of these in place for construction purposes. So stuff like that, stuff like that. Stuff like that is all done. We need to make sure, and stuff like that is all, we all need to get them all under construction. Lots and lots of construction. Oh, those are done. Interesting. Okay, so we should slowly start seeing this being powered. We can almost start to deliver some stuff. We still need to do some rail works here and electrifying it before we can actually start delivering some stuff in this area. And then we should be a little bit closer to not having to worry about things like fuel. But generally speaking, things are okay. This is, I'm a little worried about this. As long as this guy is full, I think store this item and definitely notify me when empty, because that will be a big issue. And this one is the same. But I guess it's not, we're not running out of that just yet, right? But we are making some solid progress. Let's have a quick final look at what's happening over here. We have the power line. We're working on, you know, all of this stuff. I'm not sure if they can work any quicker than that. All of this is not built yet. Sign it, guys. And if we come over this way, I guess all of that's not built either. That's the wrong button. Yeah, so we are very slow in terms of, there's so many, I think, little construction items that's underway that it is taking a hell of a long time. But it is, we're starting to slowly get things going. We're planning out another neighborhood so we can get some more people in place. And I think, actually, let's quickly finalize just this through movement through here, because that'll allow us to start the construction of a few other items. So what I do find quite interesting is how some areas the construction goes really quickly, and then other areas it does not. So we'll just go straight through there and just make sure that, so that just makes sure that we've got reasonable walking paths everywhere. Let's do that. We'll get in place and we'll start assigning our construction crews. Oh crap, I kind of buggered that up a little bit, but that's okay. We'll slowly get there, finish off everything, and get some more paths and stuff going. We need some other amenities and facilities in here also. But this is all still prime property for closeness to the train station. And we will need every worker we can get to go to this train station. So we will still need all of this. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. I have started a new series on how to play workers and resources. So if you're interested, it is linked up on the screen right now at the end of the video. Please go and join that if you are interested in finding out more about specific items. And do leave some comments in that video, in that series, around what you want to see. If there's anything specific that you would like us to pay a little bit more attention on in terms of how we do it. Okay, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.